else. Welcome to this Zoom call this early morning. Today was a little earlier morning for me than usual. We have a baby, and somehow he decided to just wake up at I don't even know if it was like 3:30 or 4 in the morning. So he's just we had an early morning for sure. So I've been awake for a couple hours already, but that helps out so you can start your day really early. I want to thank everyone for being here, being a part of this Zoom call, for being consistent and being working on our leadership early in the morning. Pamela, thank you so much. Welcome here. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you going? I see a couple of you driving as well. Ana Rita, nice to see you. Look at you. You're the first one that comes up in the videos. Thank you, Tara. No, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all your guys' commitment. Mr. Jose Meza, pay attention to the front, my friend. Wherever you're driving to, I don't see your seatbelt on, buddy. So take care of you. Who else? Julie, how are you? Good morning. Michelle, where are you going? You have those fancy sunglasses? Fancy looking sunglasses on. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Terry, nice to see you. Sabrina from Oklahoma. Nice to see you here on this Zoom call. I just had a call with I think it was 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. I mean, there's buongiorno, buongiorno. It was 2 days ago. I saw this group. They were from Arkansas. They were from Missouri, Ohio. And I told them, man, you're from. I thought you were gonna be from California, where I've been, but all these other places I've never been to yet. And I'm excited to maybe have a meeting going on in those areas because I love to go to new places and honestly, I like to eat foods, different foods, especially in different places I mean, for those of you that really know me, if you wanna grow a better friendship with us or with me at least, you feed me, and we're friends. We're friends forever. Some of you guys know that already. Grateful for you, Latifa. Thank you for being here on this Zoom call. Good morning. See, another one, Sue from Michigan. Never been there yet. Okay, well, I'm excited for a couple of things that we have going on. We have, although a couple of announcements, and then we'll get right into it. I'll try to get you guys on fire on this Zoom call. We have our Anaheim event. I think we ran out of tickets, but we were able to grab another 100 seats available. We were worried for a second on there because where we did it, yeah, we usually have a bigger crowd, but there's a couple of things going on over there in the Hispanic market. However, it's going to be translated, so if you're in the area, I invite you to go to this event. One thing you do have to know in advance is we'll be transmitting real time translation in a conference call. So yeah, I know you'll be there, Tara. So we're gonna have either dinner or lunch. So I know you'll be there. You better not cancel on us, because definitely we're doing that. You need to have a phone, and I believe that Mr. Daniel West would have a couple of headphones. I would also suggest if you can buy just $10 Bluetooth headphones, just so you can have that event. And all you do is you just put your Bluetooth, you call in a number, and we'll be translating live as the event goes. And we'll also have English speakers on this event, so you won't need a translation for that. So but you're definitely welcome to come. We're gonna do some. We don't have product launches. We have a product teaser. We have a couple products that we want to have out there and people to try them. But we're leaving those for our next regional convention or regional event that we're having October, November. We're yet to have the venue, but that's coming up. And then we have a few launches, a few product launches on there, and we also have our event in Moncton, Canada. Moncton. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but we have that event the weekend after the 9th. It's not detecting my language. Maybe my Spanglish is not being detected by Zoom. It says right here, but okay, I'm speaking English. I think I'm still speaking English. So we do have that event in Moncton, Canada. There you go. You can RSVP. I believe we have over 200 RSVP'd over 200 people that have RSVP to that event. But Mr. James has a list. Okay, 226. And the date for convention, we're about to announce that in the next few days. We need to get together with the team because we're just finding the best place to have it. And either it's gonna be already a full blown convention or a big regional event with prices and recognition, so that we get ready into maybe launching the year with another event on January, February, and then we can have that huge convention. But we're about to finalize on those details. And then we have another event that's coming up in Hawaii. I believe that's going to be on the weekend after that. I hope my wife is not on this Zoom call, because she doesn't like when when I go away for so many weekends in a row. But I think I'll be okay. And sometimes she sees it on the flyers, and she says that I don't let her know. But I mean, she sees a flyer just like everybody else, and she invites people to it, and she just kind of gives me a hard time, like, "Oh, you didn't tell me." But I mean, you saw it on the flyer. But I guess there's got to be a little bit of that. Okay, so let's get started. So a couple of things I'll share with you. There is a time that we're going through right now, and there's a shift. I believe there's a shift in network marketing to where people are looking for something more, for companies that are more transparent. There is this last 2 weeks. We've been busy, really busy, because there's some just like you all in this Zoom call have been looking and hearing about Vital Health. So I believe so is the industry. And there's this energy in the air. I feel like we are about to start being discovered, and you already discovered us. So you can really be the person to let everyone know that you're part of Vital Health, because things are gonna be uh what's the word? What would the word? Things are gonna be popping, or things are gonna be jamming, but it's gonna be crazy on on what at least I can get to see, because there's people. So here's the thing that's going on right now. There is companies, and then with this I'll get into my training. But there is companies. Hi, Brenda. Gonna be popping. Okay. So there is companies out there who, even after 15, 20 years in business, one in particular, at least that I know, that there's a couple leaders that were looking for a home from that house. It's like, it feels like a house of cards that is just falling on their grounds, because they didn't have the right foundation. And this 20-year-old company, and people that have done over 10 years in that company, they feel like that place is not interested in their success. And many things that people might be going through in many companies, where you feel like you're fighting corporate, and you're fighting, they're holding you back. And there's just a lot of people that are looking for a home, and when they see what we have with Vital Health, they fell in love. So we had this group that came over from a company. They all they kept saying is, Vital Health is a young company. Are you sure you can handle the growth? Are you sure you have what it takes for all this growth that is coming? And my reply was, I showed them all the facilities, send them videos, send it all, did all this. Um, one of the leaders, in fact, they pay their way to come here, so they can see what we had. Actually, the main person on there. And once they saw what we had and the facilities and everything, they said, "No, you guys are ready to go." They went back, and it's crazy what's happening with when people are able to catch the vision. But I'll share with that a little bit. So let's go into the I need to learn some of the catchy phrases. I think last time I used a couple. The last time I was in the AM Power, but let's go to the nitty gritty. Is that how you say it? Let's go to the nitty gritty. Yes. Okay. So let's get to that. Okay. So we'll start with a couple of things. So, but this is Alex gonna be talking to you, leader to leader, not founder to leader or company to leader. Maybe a couple of things I'll change that role, but I'll talk to you with leadership first. So you think about, and we'll start with this. We think about if you were to ask me, or somebody was to come and ask you, you are in Vital Health now. You started in Vital Health. Maybe you've been in the company for a week. Maybe you've been in the company for maybe for a year, maybe for 2 years. I don't think hardly anybody in this Zoom will be for 2 years, but you've been in it for a few months, let's say, and then somebody comes and asks you, well, how long, are you willing to give in to be successful? And most of the time, the average person would say, well, I'm going to try. Or sometimes you're doing a presentation and you're signing someone up, and that person says, oh, yeah, I'm going to try it out. And you're signing, you're putting them in the system, you're registering that person, and yeah, I'll try it out. And see, there's magic in words, in the things that you say, and the magic of the words of what you throw out to the universe, that you know that you got to be careful of saying. One of them being is, and I have a radar for that already. I don't. You guys like my hat? You guys like it? It's not on the vital. It's not on the vital health dot shop. It's not on there. But it's pretty cool, huh? The staff made it. Staff made it. They gave it to me as my birthday gift. So okay, and then you start to enroll someone. You're talking to them. You start to enroll them, and then they say, I'm going to try it out. And it makes me think on when I joined this industry, and I got married to being successful, and I wanted to be successful, and I thought, well, I mean, maybe you've heard somebody say, oh, I'll give it 6 months. But if I was to ask you, what would be enough time for you to dedicate to Vital Health, and that you would say, you know what, I'll give this company a year. And if nothing happens to that, I'm just gonna go jump to the next one, or I'm gonna do something else. I mean, if I was to ask you, how long are you willing to give to to Vital Health so that you're successful? And if you can reply that on a year is reasonable, okay? You guys can give me ideas. What would be a time? And some of you guys maybe been to a training like this already, but that's the moment the prospect you're talking to says, oh, I'll try it 6 months. I'll try it. I'll see what happens. From there on, that person might not be destined for success. That person might be destined for failure because he's willing to walk away from that. Imagine, if you are getting married, you go to the church. And you have the pastor, the priest, the rabbi, whoever has the authority to marry you, right? And they're talking to you, and I'm Catholic, so I kind of know what they say on Catholic, and they ask. Let's say you're on there, and then they ask your partner, hey, and then they ask you, hey, are you willing to work throughout the hard times and through sickness, through being broke, through blah 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 blah? Yes. I accept to marry this person. Imagine if they were to ask your partner, well, do you accept this person as your spouse and to get married and through sickness and disease and all that? What if they were to say, well, I'll try it, I'll try him out, or I'll try her out and see what happens. I'll give it 6 months and see what happens. You already know that marriage is not going to last. You already know. Some of you guys did that. Maybe that's why kind of be funny, right? But so it's congratulations, Brenda. So when you hear that, you know that marriage is not going to last for a long time, because when you make a commitment to marriage, at least what I was taught, and on my example, at least with what I seen, is it's a big decision to where you make that decision and you work it out so that so that you don't get married maybe in 6 months. You give it your best. Of course, there's things that happen, like always. However, you cannot walk into it with a mindset of, oh, I'll try it out, because you already know it's destined for failure. You have to come in with a mindset of, I'm gonna give it my best to this, and that has more chances of success. So same thing as you develop your business, more things as you tend to make a commitment with Vital Health is understand that things for success and talking successful financially, because health wise, yeah, you work and you have faster results with our products. But talking success wise and success talking, for me, success is a progressive realization of your goals, right? Of what your goals are, whether they're financial, whether they're fitness, whether they're healthy, whether they're helping people. The progressive realization of that, to me, that's success. It's not just money, right? But if we're talking success and you committed to Vital Health, to helping people and achieve success, then if you want to be a good lawyer, if you want to be a good doctor, how many years do you have to go to class? You have to go to school. In my case, I was in pre-med prior to start making good money in network marketing. I was in pre-med, and while I was doing that, I was studying. I was doing on the side network marketing, and I was studying for that. And why was I studying pre med? Well, first of all, my dad is a retired doctor now. He was a practicing doctor back then, And I went to college, and they have this board on college, and they say, well, this career pays you so much a year. This other one so much a year. Top of the list, I believe, either first one or second one, being a doctor. And I thought, well, I want to make money. I want to be, successful making money. And I decided to start to study that. But once I understood that it's not gonna be 1 year, and it's not gonna be 2 years, it's not gonna be 3 years. In that scenario, if you want to be a good lawyer, well, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, it probably takes you 6 to 8 years. And then after that, if you want to be a good one, then you have to continue to study and continue to practice. And on my case, look, I'm in my living room. I'm going to show you something here. I actually got my son is in mixed martial arts. Okay, he's 4. He really likes. I don't think he understands what's going on with the fights, but he just likes. He sees as fun being punched and punching people. Of course, with following safety directions, and he just has fun with that, right? So the trainer came to my house, and I got a punching bag right there. That's what I wanted to show you. And I asked the trainer, "Hey, dude, well, what if I wanted to be a black belt, karate black belt?" And he says, "Well, how long does it take?" He says, "Well, you if you practice, you go to class, then maybe after 5 years, 6 years, you can be a black belt." I asked him, "Dude, but what if I wanted to be a black belt fast? Like, I don't like to do things on the long run. I like to do something now." It's like when my wife calls me and she says, "I need to talk to you about something really important." And then I'm like, "Okay, tell me." "No, no, no, I'll tell you later." I'm like, "Don't tell me later. If you're gonna say tell me later, don't tell me you need to talk to me. Just talk to me in the moment. I don't like the drama of the expectation, like I'm in trouble or I did something, and then you don't tell me on the spot." Well, because I like to get things done as quick as possible. That's just the way I learned to handle things. So I'm not dragging my feet on many things. So with talking about this black, I told the guy, I said, "Hey, well, what if I wanted to be my wife is wonderful, so don't think, but I gotta use her for certain examples here in this call, but she's amazing. Okay, so don't think just on the couple maybe bad things that I'm saying, but she doesn't speak English, so even if she's listening to me in the kitchen right now, I won't get in trouble for that. But going back to black belt. As I ask him, well, hey, dude, what if I pay you to have classes every day? I go to your dojo, whatever it's called. You come to my house, and he says, well, if you train every day, you take classes every day on this grappling and fighting and stances and all those things that they do. And then you practice at home and you do your homework and you practice every day at home for at least an hour. Maybe maybe in 2 years you would be a black belt. And then I said, hey dude, but sometimes I have calls to do. I do Zooms all day. I have things to do at the corporate office, and I also have kids, so I have sometimes I don't have the time. He says, well, and I says, what if I do it, is there a way I can do it where I can be a black belt in 2 years or in a year, but then I have to do all my business related stuff. He says, well, if you put it that way, maybe you can be a black belt in 2040, in the year 2045. Why? Because as to learn anything and to be great at something, you have to be practicing every day consistently without an end of time, without a conclusion to that. You have to just work on yourself every day until you master that. And if we go to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, one of the chapters on that book, he says, if you don't know, if you've never read that book, one of my favorite books, I've probably read it about 10 times. And in that book, it says, Napoleon Hill says that he interviewed the most successful, the richest people back then. And he got, oh, you see, some of you have read it. So, hi, Patricia. In that book, it says he interviewed all these successful people back in the day, and he put what they had in common. He put it in chapters in this book. So we know success leaves clues. So why should I be reinventing the wheel if somebody already did the job, did the work, and all I have to do is I have to read that and understand it and pay attention. And so in one of those books, it says you have to be, you have to be, you have to gain special knowledge. Just many people focus on learning many things. Maybe some people learn. My dad told me a couple of things. Hey, you have to learn how to do electricity so that you don't have to pay someone and you save money and you don't have to pay someone to go do that in your house. You need to learn plumbing because you don't want to pay somebody to do that. You need to learn a little bit of mechanics. So if your car breaks down, then you don't have to pay somebody. But I thank God that I didn't pay attention to that, because Napoleon Hill says if you're gonna learn something, pay attention to something, that the special knowledge that you can get, which is a thing that can make you wealthy over time. And that's the difference between people that, you may have special knowledge, but you have that on maybe doing people's nails, or you have that with making great cakes, or you have special knowledge with, hey, you know how to, but you're older side, and you get better at learning how to play soccer. Well, it's not going to work anymore. So if you learn something, don't learn to be a jack of all trades. Is that how you say it? Don't learn to be the person that does many things is a master of nothing. A person that is good at doing many things is a master of nothing. I ignored the plumbing. I pay somebody. People. That's what I tell my wife now. I will go back to her, but she says, "Wait, why? Fix this thing and fix this light and fix that." I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. And I tell her, these people have to eat. So I rather, these mechanics, I rather pay them. They need to eat. Electricians. Hey, I need, we need to hire them. They need to make their money as well. So why should I learn that? Because my time, if I use my time appropriately with the knowledge that you have on building a network, and we'll get into a couple of things that you have to learn, will pay you a lot more worth of your time than doing that. And that's the value of money. The value of money is, the more that you have specialty knowledge on something that can pay you great, will allow you to make more money than the average person. That's why being a store clerk doesn't pay as much. That's why maybe doing gardening doesn't pay as much, because if the more people can do that job, the less that job will pay in the marketplace. So you asked me to be a mechanic. I have no idea. But you know what? I work my butt off So I'm always driving just new cars. I don't have to. I can't even remember the last time a car broke down on me. It broke down when I was starting out. It broke down when my first car was a Chevy Lumina. It was like a big boat. It was a big. I mean, it was a long car. I bought it. I think it was around the year, oh man, around 2007. It was a 94 Lumina. I paid $500 for that car. I'm thankful because those things made you appreciate what you have now. If you forget where you're coming from, then you're in your way back there. And one thing I do is I appreciate every single thing that has allowed me at least to change my life and to appreciate what we have now and what God has blessed us with. But you know I don't have to worry about being a mechanic. All I do is I push a button, the car turns on. People ask me, hey Alex, what is this Raptor R you drive, this truck? What's the engine on? I have absolutely no clue. What's a horsepower? What is even horsepower? I have no. I don't even understand it. Oh, what transmission does it have? I don't know. I just press. I make this thing circle, and the transmission goes from, sports mode to I don't know. Fast or whatever it is, so it will make it so that if you go through the city, then it's a different transmission than if you're driving through the roads or whatever, So I have no idea. But that's the thing is, you don't have to be a jack of all trades. A jack of all trade or a person that does a little bit of everything is a master of nothing. And it makes me think of the biggest art, one of the biggest piece of art that has ever been done by somebody. We go back to one of them being um, Michelangelo and the statue of David. And we go back to Michelangelo, and if he was asked to do this statue of David. And when he was asked to do this statue of David, most people now when they do a statue, they maybe they grab rocks, but I don't know how they make the again, we go back to I don't know how some of the things are created, but they put together maybe rocks, and they start forming this thing, right? You start adding things to something to create what is going to be displayed, right? In this case it wasn't like that. In this case, Michelangelo, what he did is first he knew he wanted to create something. He was inspired. He was asked to do it. He was inspired. He wanted to create a masterpiece. And what he did is, as he was driving somewhere, he saw a marble stone, a big marble stone, no figure, no sides. It was just a big marble rock. And but he saw that. It takes a person with vision to see and to visualize, because you can see with your eyes, but to see with vision, it comes from the heart. It comes from God. It comes from inspiration. So he was able to have inspiration to create a statue from a rock. And what he did is with a oh, what's a word? But instead of putting things together, he had a sizzle, and it started sizzling away parts of that rock and took away what wasn't needed to build a masterpiece. You get that? So, like some other, maybe with clay, they start to do this thing. Well, with chisel, that's not what? Okay, started to chisel it, chisel away parts that were extra. Started chiseling away that maybe part of the extra head, extra eye, all these things that until he was forming a perfect statue, until he achieved the perfectness of one masterpiece that is out there throughout time. So this brings back that what is it in your life that you're doing so many things, you're using your time in many things, and you don't master vital health. You don't master the skills that you need to be excellent in vital health. You don't master those skills, so you're using your time in some other things, and maybe you even think that success might still be in something out there, that you need to learn, hear something or learn something new to come apply it to create perfection inside of it. There's no perfection, I don't believe in that, but to start getting a better statue of you, right? But I can tell you that it's not that. Sometimes you need to chisel away what you have, that extra baggage you're carrying all over the place. You need to get away of ideas. You need to chisel away ideas that take your focus away from vital health. Excuses. As my upline doesn't help me. My upline hasn't put people under me so far. My upline doesn't say hi to me in the morning. My upline is this and that. This product has, you know, this or that, and you're looking at the wrong things. You don't give time to create the perfection that you can start to create within you. So if you if you chisel away all the things that you don't need, including and the thoughts, and including the physical things that you might be doing. Like maybe you have your job, you have your business, and you sell cakes, and then you do sell shirts, and then you kind of do vital health. Eventually, if you have time, maybe you tell somebody about it. Well, that's not how it works. We go back to, you need to be a master at this. How long does it take? As long as you need. That's why we have the AM powers. That's why we have our trainers. That's why we have our people. So when you walk into a room, here's a couple of recommendations I will give you as you build. And one of them is you have to be likable. That's one first recommendation. I'm not going to tell you how to set up appointments. I mean, we can ask our bot for that. And I think you have the boards and you have all these fancy tools. I didn't have none of that back in the day. It was just, it's to create a couple Word documents, and but now you have all the tools. And even with that, you have, you're thinking that it's outside. No, you already have inside what it takes to be successful. So as you know that, first recommendation I'll tell you, that would be, hey, you gotta be likable. People have to like you. People in your team, they want to be around you. You have to be the person that if you walk into a room, you want everyone to be around you. That's no secret, because we work with people. I will ask you, for those of you that have the camera on, if you don't have the camera on, turn the camera on. But if I was to ask everyone in this Zoom call who has problems, raise your hand. I can tell you that all of us have problems. And you can say, well, no, Brooke Nieves doesn't have any problems. She's a purple diamond. She is, you know, making great money, and she doesn't have a problem. You could think that, right? But more money comes with everybody has problems. I'll tell you that. Everyone has stuff going on in their life. So if you have problems in your life and everyone has problem in your life, no one wants to hear your problems. We already have our own. So when you call, I'm not gonna say names. She might be here. She might. Well, I don't think so, because I've never seen that she speaks English. So I like the English calls, because I can be real. Because they don't. I can use some of the other markets as an example. Um, I can be real, and I don't get in trouble. But I won't say the name. I won't. I won't. I won't do that. I won't ever do that. I won't put them on the spot. But there's this girl. There's this person that, man, every time I get a WhatsApp from this person, is to play the victim. Every single time. There's not a time where, maybe a couple, where she's happy, where that person is happy, where maybe they're excited. But man, it's like every other message is to complain that somebody said the wrong thing to her, somebody made fun of her, somebody didn't do something, someone was a, in her mind, a pain in the butt in the meeting. And I'm like, dude, you send me audios of minutes complaining about people. Dude, I have 1,000 problems. but you ain't one of them to me. I don't want to. You know what's that song? Who likes that song? It makes me think of that song. I got 100 problems, but well, no. Oh, never mind. No, I think I mentioned this girls in a disrespectful way. Never mind. But you know what I'm talking about. That song, right? 99 problems. That okay. Okay, but you get the idea. Okay, you get the idea. So I got all these 99 problems, but this ain't one. Okay, but that ain't one of them. I'm not gonna listen to your problems. It makes people go get away from you as you share your problems because we all have problems in our life. Everyone has things they're dealing with. And yes, as we build a team, yes, we are here to support our team. And that includes even being a psychologist sometimes. Maybe some of your leaders have a team, you know what I'm talking about. You're a psychologist. Yes, it's part of building the team. You have to be patient, and I am patient. That's why this person doesn't know that is not nice. But that's why they gotta listen to this AM powers, right? So if people have enough problems in their life, they don't want to listen to your problems. They don't want you to be stuck on that. And these people that they stay on that like a victim. So the whole point to this is after saying all that is and being a psychology because yeah you need to be a good psychologist. I don't think I have a I don't think I don't have a career. I'm not a psychologist, but I think I turned into one. And For me, it's simple. Like they're starting to share the problem, and with this person, all I do is I say it in a nice way. Wait, I see a 7 minute audio, or 3 minute, or 5 minutes. I have it in 2x for those of you that have WhatsApp. Kind of listen to it. I know it's a problem. I pause it in the first 10 seconds. Hey, you're a mature person. Stop being a victim. Go on your way and don't focus on that. Don't let that ruin your day. Bye. I raise a message. I don't waste 5 7 minutes to. I know where it's going. I don't have time for that. Barely have time to answer my emails with corporate. Barely have time to do other stuff. So my point is, you know that everyone is going through stuff. They don't want to get your problems. They don't want to hear them because everyone has problems. So if you want to be likable, then you do it the other way around. You want to be likable, be there for them, make them happy, say a couple jokes if you know. That's why my jokes, I've got a can of jokes. I've got them. I'm doing my presentation. I already done the same jokes maybe 100, no, 1,000 times. I have them all there because I want to be likable. I want people to trust me. And that's another thing is if you want to build a big organization, the second thing is you keep your word. You keep your word on what you say. You say you're going to do something, we do it. There's many things that hey, we agree and it goes both ways, right? So it goes from the person and the expectation, but when if you say that you're going to do a meeting for someone, you're going to do a Zoom for someone, you're going to you keep that. You say you're going to help someone out, you help them out. So you don't say, when you bring someone into the business and you tell them, no, I'll be here for you to support you and help you. And then they call you and you don't have time, or you're busy watching TV and you don't answer the phone. Hey, that's not keeping up your word. Accountability. That's the right word. Exactly. So there's things that as you start to build your business, you'll be sharing with people that you'll learn a couple more things. So going back to the whole point of, if you ask yourself, what am I missing right now? What person do I need to become? Who can I copy? Who can I become that will allow me to have the results I want in this business? Like, what do I need to learn from someone? What are they doing that I need to change in my life to be successful? Am I hustling? Am I grinding 24/7? Am I making the calls? Am I learning a new skill every day? Am I putting it to practice? How much time am I dedicating really to my success? And the real answer that you should have said, and some of them said it on the Zoom call, on the chat, it was as long as it takes. That's what I've learned in my success. It wasn't an option to go back. And to me, it wasn't an option to go back because I had my uncles making fun of me. I had, I had my mom telling me you should get a real job. Sometimes now, even nowadays, she says, "Hey, Alex, you should still consider. Why don't you still consider to get a real job?" But no, my uncles were making fun of me, and instead of using like some people, they get demotivated when other people criticize you, they mock you, they make fun of you, and they talk crap. I can say that they talk crap about you, whatever. Um, instead of taking that into, oh, they're right. In my case, I like to prove people wrong. In my case, it motivated me that my uncle was making fun of me. So that's why to me, failure wasn't an option. Because if I saw that other people were doing it, I knew it was a matter of time for me to do it. And I just worked my butt off until that happened. And God, I think God treats us, and I think he's in some cases making fun of us. He's up there and he's like, "Oh, Anna Rita, you want to be successful? You want to be okay? Well, I'll put some test your way." And he throws a rock at you. He throws your uncle to talk bad about you, or your somebody make fun of you, or your spouse saying they won't support you. And they put this little blockages, right? First, small blockages in your life. And you think, man, yeah, and I see him. I think he's out there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna see if Anna Rita deserves a success, if this person really wants it." And then they see, well, no, look at that. I threw that little thing, and I broke the shell. I broke this person's willingness to create something, and they stopped. They must not want it bad enough, and they put another one, and it's a constant fight. Trust me. Trust me, the higher you go up, the more of a team you have, the more money you start to make, there are always going to be problems. Problems will not stop. But only the strongest, at least the ones that I know that have a stronger mindset of, regardless of what it takes, regardless of what I need to learn, I know it's a matter of time for me to evolve and be the person I need to become for me to be successful. It took me a long time. you're We are programmed. Some people are programmed. I was programmed for a long time to believe while growing up that money was the root of all evil. Who heard that thing? I was programmed to there's Mexican songs, maybe there's U.S. songs in the past that had the same message, or maybe country songs, maybe. But there's Mexican songs that talk, well, I love you, I have the big heart, but you went with the guy that has the money. You didn't like me, but I really have feelings. But the rich guy, you went with the rich guy, and shame of you. Hey, rich people, we also have feelings. I also have feelings. Like, why would they make you think that? Like, they start to point, it's in songs, it's through soap operas, it's through movies, it's through all these things that people were programmed the bad way. So that's what you have to think on. Well, who do I have to become? What things do I have to get rid of in my life to achieve what I want, to achieve the success I need? How do I have to think to achieve that success? And once you start to find the right path, you get on the right path, because the company, you have it. There's three things to this business. First thing is products. Our products work amazing. I don't think there's anybody here in this Zoom that would say our products don't work. It's ridiculous. Our products work. They're proven. That's the first thing I looked at when the idea of Vital Health came by. It's the first thing that got me interested to even launch something. Being a founder, man, I don't actually, being a founder is whatever. But being in a corporate position, in a real corporate position where you deal with operations and you deal with employees, and you know what it's like to have residual income as a just building a business and get paid as a distributor and not have to go through this, I don't wish it to my best enemies, really. I mean, it's when you think it's work, it's 10 times the work and the stress and everything else that you have to be in top of your game for that, right? So as we know, that the only thing that got me interested in doing something. Oh, we have a guy from corporate here. That's why he's laughing. But we have a we when even the idea to create Vital Health came. I was in a spot in my life to where I believe that God has given us gifts and talents. Everyone, everyone has gifts and talents that you were given, but we don't use them. We don't. There's scripture on that. They ask people, hey, have you used your gifts, talents, and even the people that duplicated the coins they gave them. So you are given gifts and talents, and in my case, after achieving financial success in a company, but I stopped believing in their concept. I felt like I was wrongfully. I think I felt like I was scamming people by telling them there was residual income and there isn't in that. So I just didn't believe in it anymore. I wasn't depressed because I just didn't. There's no you can't be depressed with all the kids and all. You have to work and you have to all these things, and you're occupied, very occupied. I'm not saying that some people are not depressed that are not occupied, but just in my mind, there's just no depression. In my case, okay, I won't allow myself to get into that stage, which it could happen. I was starting to feel that way, like I felt like I wasn't using the potential that I had. And I've been praying to God for months. I would say even years. I've been praying like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I was making money. I was making 30, 40, $50,000 a month. I was making money, but in life, I've learned that there's more to just money. I think there's purpose that is more important than money. In reality, which money is a big part of course, not having to go through many things, but at least the things that money can pay for. I mean, I'd rather be depressed in vacation or in a nice house and be able to travel and be depressed in Hawaii maybe than being depressed being broke. Definitely so. I do think that. However, I just felt like I wasn't using my gifts and talents. And when sometimes I don't know if it's happened to of you many of you that when you pray, I mean, a couple things. When you ask for something and you pray for something and God gives you something, you know that it doesn't come in the prettiest wrapping. You guys know that, right? Like when gonna be a big breakthrough in your life, when there's gonna be a big blessing come your way, sometimes they come disguised with a problem. In my case, I knew there was going to be a big problem if I left that company because I got sued. I'm still sued, and then some people use that to talk bad about Vital Health, which that's almost taken care of. But um, and I've got money to pay. Worst case scenario as well, so you don't worry about Vital Health with that. And some people use that to talk about the business model, but it won't even change a thing. Anyways, so sometimes those big blessings that come your way, they come, they don't come in the nicest packaging. They don't come in the nicest wrapping. We know that. And as I was praying, God, just enlighten me. Please show me. Just show me. And I'm also certain people I know that they feel they get by different ways that you can hear or you can understand that God spoke to you. Sometimes we don't pay attention or we don't accept it, but there is. So in that case, it came by as when I met Tony and I saw their products. And to me, it was whatever. I was manufacturing products for some companies now, and I saw their products, and I told them, "Hey, who makes these products?" And you know that nowadays, to make something made at home, to make it sound really good, they say, to make something sound really good when you're selling a product, but you don't have the industrial thing way to make a lot of them. Then you say, "Oh no, this is handmade." Yeah, maybe you guys have seen that, right? Like this is handmade, and they make that sound like very fancy looking, like catchy as to handmade, it's special. But handmade can mean anything, right? Because maybe you don't have the funds to create it in a big way. So back then, the capsules came in a wide container, white capsule container, crooked label. You can tell it was placed by hand. The label wasn't shiny. The label was not so pretty. But as I walked into, some of you have visited this place. I walked into, if you Google Vital Health right now, none of the bigger stuff that we have comes out. It comes out of the first office that we had. And Very small office that comes out still. And I walked in there. Tony had a clinic right there and started talking about the products. I saw the products, but literally, I had a vision. And to me, I interpret that as that was God's way of showing me, responding to my prayers. And I saw the products. Because think about it, I was already making. I already made multiple seven figures before. I was in my 20s. I was still making great money. And you live in Mexico, and you have your cars paid for, and your house paid for. You're not struggling for money. It's not. You don't come from a desperation to make a company and to make money. It's not. It doesn't. It does. That's not. That wasn't then. Desperation was when I started in network marketing. Yeah, I was desperate. That was desperate. But this time, I felt like God spoke to me through the vision. Because as he was talking, I wasn't paying attention much to what he was saying because that vision came to me, and I saw the products, and I saw the case studies, I saw the testimonials on the product. I thought, all right, this is the answer to my prayers. I'm gonna get sued, yes, and bad things could happen to me, yes. But you know what? I said, I trust you, and so you know, I went all this way, all this on my message just to say that there's three things to this: the products. You cannot deny the products. The products work. Their products work. They've been working for the long time. So the products work. Second thing is compensation plan. Compensation plan works. Compensation plan, we have paid millions of dollars in compensation already. Their compensation plan is proven to work. We've got people in this Zoom who are earning over $100,000 a month. So compensation plan works. Those two things are constant. The only thing that's a variant in your vital health development or vital health growth in your business, it's you. That's the only variable to the equation. The products work, the compensation plan is working. The only variable at the end is you. And yes, we got a couple things as we grow, as we have bumps, as just as anything, as there is anything that you see worthwhile that has been built in the past takes time. Well, yeah, we got one last thing that we are just finally on the last edge to have just first to none tech. Okay, the most advanced tech. But other than that, in reality is, hey, there's people already making money. There's people already making 20, 30, 50,000, $100,000 a month in the compensation plan, in the same one, in the same products, in the same back office. That is happening already. That is a constant. I don't justify it as to say we're not going to change it, and not that I don't say that that doesn't have to change. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, hey, there's people being very successful already with things as they are. So the only variable in that equation is you. And so we have to figure out is, and that's what we talk about the statue, which is what part of you do we have to chisel away? What do we have to chisel out of you to create that thing that we need in the you part so that you make everything else work? You need to go deep inside and think. And one time, I'll give you one last example, and I'm about to finish this call because one thing takes me to the other, and I can have long calls, as you can see. But one thing is, if you buy a car, you buy a Mercedes, and it happened to me. It happened to be I bought one time, and there was it wasn't brand new. It was like new. It was about 2 years old. I usually don't buy my cars brand new. I don't like the depreciation. I don't like to waste money, and I don't like to be. I don't have to. I don't like to for them to be depreciated just by driving them off the lot. I just don't like the feeling. I don't like it. Okay, I can afford it. Yes. Can I pay it? Yes. I just like somebody else to take the depreciation, and I like to, and then I buy it at a better price. That's what I like to do. Okay. Even the Raptor I have right now, my car I was telling you, hey, that car had about, I don't know who took the depreciation, the biggest one, but I had like, it was nothing. It had like 300 miles on it. Like nothing. But somebody else drove it off the lot, and I bought it cheaper than what the sticker price is. So hey, it makes me feel good. I think it makes you feel smarter on your finances instead of wasting the money, even if you have it. That's another whole call for that. So I bought a Mercedes, and when they repaired it, it didn't have they didn't repair it with the piece that it was supposed to be repaired. Something, and I didn't know, and it had about, I don't know if it was 10,000 miles. And I drove that thing. I really like the Mercedes. I like the inside, the luxury, the engine, how fast it went. You turned it on, and the sound it made. I just liked everything about it. And to me, it was working perfect. I drove that thing around for a while, and then something broke down after, I don't know, many miles. And when I took it to the place again, to the Mercedes dealership to get it replaced, because I'm not gonna replace it. I have no idea. I told you I'm not a mechanic. I have absolutely zero ideas on how a car works. I don't know. I just press a button and it turns on, and I press another one, the AC comes out. That's all I know. So I took it, and then they told me, you know what? You had this piece that it was aftermarket, and this made your car not work as well. So now we changed that, we repaired it, and we put the piece that it was supposed to be placed for that, and you should see a big difference. It was a big difference. Since the moment you turned it on, the car felt different. The car ran different. Everything was just better when it's supposed to be what the compatibility is supposed to be, right? With you, in your case, you need to find that missing piece inside of you that's not letting you go to your potential. Maybe it's those ideas. Maybe it's you don't have the work ethic right now. Maybe it's you talk about problems all the time. Maybe you're not coachable. Maybe you have something. We all have something that is stopping you from letting that perfection God created in your body for your human body machine to work the way it's supposed to, for you to achieve the success with your mind, because success is like 90% mindset. It's not even physical work. It's mindset. It's how you think, what you say, what you attract, the activity you do, the mindset that you have towards success. That's what it is. Change that piece inside of you. And we all know that's why so the whole message is this. The whole message is this. It's not us outside of you. Within inside, you need to chisel out. You need to change the piece that doesn't let you achieve success. It's not the products. It's not the comp plan. It's not your upline. It's not, it's not, whatever else you think of. Something needs to be changed, and you need to put that machine, human body, to work, because other people are having success. You should be having that as well. And I'll finish with this. What is coming? I'll change out to Vital Health Founder Talk. Okay, that was Leader Talk. Hope you liked it. I hope you like. I hope you like my message. Hope you like that. So I'll tell you a little bit of mixed from Leader and Vital Talk. Okay. Uh, Going, I agree with that. I agree. I think God wants us to be successful, wants you to feel good about what you're doing and to constantly achieve the goals. Remember, success comes in all around us. I used to think wrongfully that success was only money. It's not. It's having your purpose, working your purpose, achieving those steps, those goals that you have, in order for you to feel great about you in every area of your life. If people come to Vital Health with just wanting to make money, not going to work. You need to have purpose. You need to have the purpose to change people's lives through education, through leadership, through the products. I can tell you countless times where I've cried, literally. I don't cry a lot. I think I've been taught to control my emotions through the emotional roller coaster. I don't, I had a hard time with even expressing my emotions. But I can tell you many times I cried when people tell me what the products have done in their life. And I just dedicate that to God. And I said, just God, please consider that. If I've done many wrong things in my life, just consider that and bless and just send blessings my way, because hey, I have something to do with getting that product in that person's hand. Something at least. And that's what you have in your hands. You have an opportunity where Man, there's people that are literally dying. First cause of death in the world, cardiac problems, cardiac strokes, right? Cardiac problems, circulatory problems. Biggest thing. You have V Nitro. You can help them. You can save many lives. This is not FDA. I hope FDA is not here, but this is leadership talk. But you have products that can help, really help people change their life, and that's why you do it with a purpose. You have to do it with a purpose to really help those people that are in need. And I'm not saying you recruit and just go to a hospital and find them. No, but you definitely need to have purpose behind your work, because when the money doesn't come fast enough, you need to have the purpose to drive you to do the things. And as you have that purpose and you're motivated and you work and you share the products with people, the money comes along with that. I told you, there's people making incredible money retailing, building the team. I mean, it is a fact. We're actually going to come up with our income disclosure statement in the next few days, and you'll see that. Okay. So, but I know what we pay out. We pay out really good money to some people, and I can tell you the majority of our top income earners, they do it with a purpose. We even have one, the biggest paycheck we had. It blows my mind. This person, and I'm about to finish off, okay, because I don't want to take longer this call, but the biggest paycheck that we were paying somebody, person in Mexico, he'd been with us for 6 months. In 6 months, his income went to 100 and just that particular month, oh, like 8 months, 143, 144,000. We paid him for 1 month. But this person had been doing crypto and other kind of businesses. I don't judge. So, he likes that. Maybe he had done great. He came here. He didn't have a great reputation. Started making insane income, but I don't think he had the purpose to share. I don't think he had a real purpose to share products and health with people. And he ended up being a founder of another crypto company, and he decided to go away, part ways. I thought, man, you're crazy. Even the income, yes, but it just showed me that if you come here for just for the money, I don't know you're gonna last a long time. And you could make money, yes. Don't get me wrong, the compliment pays, but you need more than that. You need purpose. You need fulfillment that comes with that. And so I'll just wrap it up with tell you that great things are coming to Vital Health. Great things are coming to the company. We're working hard. Again, we have our new tech coming out in a few weeks, about 40 days away from that, approximately. We have new products. New product launches are coming. We have just a lot of exciting things, and people now more than ever are looking for a home. They're looking for a stable home. In my case, I'm not a jumper. I don't like switching companies. I didn't do it when I was a distributor. The only reason I did it is I stopped believing in that, because I didn't feel like I had that fulfillment of looking at you in the eye and tell you that it was what I really believed in. It wasn't. So nothing bad about that company. I'm grateful. It just wasn't what I believed in. I didn't agree with the way they handled their business. So I couldn't share that anymore. And that's the only reason after 15, 16 years, I left that with money, with making money. It's not, I believe there's more to you, and that comes with purpose. And I believe the biggest builders in Vital Health are not yet to be in Vital Health enrolled. So right now, I believe they're looking for a home. You should be reaching out to everyone you know and just letting them know, hey, I'm in Vital Health. Just consider when you start hearing about I'm in Vital Health. Consider me. And lastly, I'll finish with this. Um, there's people that when they really focus on something, they change their life. If they become a master at this, they can change their life. Comes to my mind, this guy Roger Bannister. I don't know if you know who that is, but there was a point in time where experts believed, people that studied all their life, doctors, cardiologists, they believed that no human body was going to be able to run the mile in less than 4 minutes. They thought your heart was gonna explode. They thought it thought it wasn't physically possible to run the mile less than 4 minutes. But here comes a crazy guy that likes to challenge the expected, that likes to challenge everyone, the experts, the doctors, the people that studied for many years in college, in a university. And he says, I'm gonna beat that record. He trained, he became an expert at it, removed all limitations, removed that piece that didn't belong in his mind, in his body. And that guy broke the 4 mile record. And just after that, because he proved that it could be done, there was another one. There was another one. There was another one. And by now, I think there's many people that run the mile in less than 4 minutes because he proved them wrong. Well, I'll invite you here in the Zoom call to prove everyone wrong. For those people out there that doubt vital health, I want you to prove them wrong. I want you to prove them wrong. I can share with you a Hispanic community is, I don't know how many diamonds anymore. Diamonds and above. Purple diamonds, black diamonds. Black diamond, Mexican black diamond. He lives in Mexico, making 6 figures monthly, living in Mexico. Imagine that, crazy. Um, he proved people wrong. So talking here with an Anglo community from all colors, we don't, we accept all colors, whatever, all Mexican, Latino, whatever it is, whatever culture, whatever it is, we represent you. But you need to prove everyone wrong out there. You need to prove them that you can be successful. You need to prove them that you can be triple diamond. You can be red diamond, green diamond, purple diamond, and why not black diamond? And I believe those stories are about to be here, and you can be one of them. You're at the best time. We haven't even started yet, guys. We have a long way to go, a long way to go. I promise you, I'll work my butt off over here at corporate to support you and to allow the vehicle, at least, for that will allow you to make that happen. But go prove everyone wrong. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. Really appreciate you. I'm grateful that you're part of Vital Health. I'm grateful that you believe in us. It's appreciated. This is not a battle you against corporate and against prospects. This is we're pulling the same boat. We're in the same boat. We're pulling we're how do you say that? We're pulling the same wagon here. We're working in the same mission to share these products. And of course, we know with personal development, we change lives. And I want you to do that. So thank you so much. Thanks everyone for being connected on this Zoom call. Appreciate you. Send you hugs, loves, hearts, fires. Thanks everyone to